Bonjour les amis, my name is Llyane Stanfield and I have a question for you. Do you want to speak fluently in French when you go to Paris or when you speak with your Francophone friends or clients? And somehow your words, even though you know them when you're learning at home, your words completely disappear on you and you feel that you don't have the right pronunciation, and somehow you feel, okay, if I just practiced a little more, if I just had someone to practice with, are those your biggest concern? This is French Immersion for Beginners. It's a video series where I'm sharing with you the 8 techniques that I'm using in the Joëlette Intensive program, which is an online program for beginners. It can work for intermediate level as well, but it does start from the beginning so that you clarify, if you have some background in French, you clarify your basics, and then you reach an advanced level of conversation. Now, immersion for beginners is probably something that you haven't think about before. Maybe you feel inhibited just by the idea of even opening your mouth and trying to say something in French, but I don't think that you should be inhibited by me, as you shouldn't be inhibited when you have a headache and you go to your doctor. You're expecting them to help you rid of your headache. This is why you shouldn't be inhibited to reaching out to me if you need help with any of these issues that I have listed here. These videos don't stay on Facebook, they expire, and so if you would like to have access to all the 8 videos, including last week's webinar, please click on the link in the description of this video and you will find everything on the other side. So today is day 8 and technique number 8, which to me is the most important. And the reason it is the most important to me is because it seems to be the most important to all of my clients. So the skill number 1 that I seem to teach or coach everyone is this particular technique, slowing down. And the reason I'm saying it's so important, and it's the main thing that I end up coaching everyone, is because slowing down in our speech is very unnatural. And you need to know how to slow down. And remember, all these techniques that I've been sharing here are very valuable if you know about them, but you need to experience them, and you can't experience them by yourself. I know that from my own experience, because when I learned English, being in an Anglophone country, English is not my first language. So when I had to become fluent in my English, I had big trouble doing that myself. But as you can tell right now, as I'm speaking in this video, you can probably already recognize the fact that I am slowing down a lot. And I am because I'm all the time very aware of how I'm using my pronunciation so that I am clear for you. Sure, I may sound like having an accent, and that's okay. What is important is the communication. What my goal is to make myself clear to you with these techniques. And so this is an actual illustration of what means to slow down. And I mean that you should slow down in French, but the way we do anything is the way we do everything. And so if we speak quickly in our mother tongue, we will tend to speak quickly in our French. So if you want to do yourself a favor and make the process much less painful, try to slow down in English first. Now, the way to slow down is not speaking fast with many long pauses. Did you see what I've done there? And that's kind of the way everybody slows down when I instruct them to do so. The way to slow down is to lengthen the vowels. I will speak much slower if I lengthen the vowels. What that does, there are two things, benefits of that. First, we give our mouth the time, which is an instrument. Our mouth is an actual instrument. Think about a clarinet or a saxophone, or how it changes shape for each pitch that it needs to take, each sound, each note. It's exactly the same thing with our mouth. So in order for our mouth, which are muscles, to create the proper shape that produces the proper sound, our mouth, as any muscle, needs some time and some training. And it doesn't go in the right position immediately. Just as in, I don't know if you tried any ballet or dance or any kind of other dance, or what else? Any kind of physical movement. You know that you first need to get the movement down and then practice it enough until you get the speed up. But as you get the speed up, you need to keep the same movements. You can't, when you speak faster or you move faster, you can't change the shape that you're doing, because that's just not going to do the trick. Same thing when we're speaking. When we speak faster, we should move our mouth in a different way. And so in order for the muscles of our mouth to remember I talked in the previous videos about sense memory and then muscle memory. So first we have the sense memory, and then we build the muscle memory. And even with the muscle memory, if, for instance, we're speaking, we need enough practice so that that muscle memory stays and it keeps the same movements even if it's faster. So the focus is not on speaking faster, okay? It is on creating the right shape in the mouth in order to produce the right sound. Now, the second advantage of this lengthening of the vowels, the first is the giving our mouth, the muscles of the mouth, the time to get into the right shape. The second one is we don't get the right sound from the very beginning. And French on its own, I mean, as it is, has the sounds are longer in French than in English. But we should make them even longer so that when I try a sound and it doesn't quite come out right, and then keeping the same shape, we still keep that vowel until I hear the right sound. So slowing down, apart from the deep practice, which I talked about in one of the previous videos. And again, if you want to have access to all the videos, which are no longer available, they're not all of them available right now on Facebook. So click on the link in the description of this video. So to read or listen about deep practice, and that's helping the deep practice, but also to create the longer proper French vowels. So this is the 8th technique. Please click on the link in the description of this video. You will find all the 8 techniques, all the videos there, as well as the webinar that I held on Sunday, last Sunday, where I was putting them together. And look out for a post from me for this weekend's, Sunday's webinar, when I'm going to talk about immersion for beginners. How do we prepare for a real immersion for beginners, but in a program that is so much more comfortable, and it could be done all online with me. Thank you so much for watching. I loved this series so much because I strongly believe that we should immerse immediately so that we are properly introduced to the language and properly to have from the very beginning a good sense and feel of what is the end result that I am actually preparing for. Thank you so much for watching. Click on the link in the description of this video. Check out the intensive program where I'm working using all these techniques, and I will see you on the other side. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.